A longtime great high school football coach in the state of Florida, in the Tampa area, has been the quarterback coach for the Rockets the last 5 seasons. Good first down there by Louisville, and Wiener's impact goes far greater than football. There he is with Tucker Gleason. This is at Plant High School. Gleason, the starting quarterback for Toledo. Those two come from Plant to Toledo together, and then this past summer he officiated Tucker and his wife Emma's wedding.
Wow.
There he is before he grew out that Santa Claus looking beard. And clearly you talk to the quarterbacks that he's coached, just a far greater impact than just the game of football. Robert Wiener, as a flag flies on the 1st and 10 rush.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense number 55. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Doran Ray Jr. called for the face mask, and that'll give Louisville another first down. This Cardinals offense, Rocky, looked so good in that opening drive. 88-play, 75-yard touchdown drive, and since then just haven't been in the same rhythm.
And now it's going to get even harder because that man right there is back out on the field. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, we talked about him in the open. I think a top 50 draft pick who was not out there on the first 2 series of the game, but is out there now. Again, he's a sideline-to-sideline explosive player.
Here's Moss dialing up a deep shot. Jump ball, and it falls incomplete. Meeks couldn't quite haul it in, and Meeks has stayed down.
Broken up by Andre
Fuller.
Andre Fuller was in coverage for Toledo. And with Meeks receiving some medical attention, we'll step aside in Boca. So a 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Louisville already with a depleted wide receiver room. They go to the run game here with Isaac Brown, who returned after a month absence. So you already are without Chris Bell, your top wide receiver, who tore his ACL. And then Dakari Collins ruled out. I mean, look at Bell versus the other wide receivers on the roster this year for Louisville.
I mean, it's incredible. And I don't know if there was a more impactful wide receiver in the country than Chris Bell. I feel like every time you turn a Louisville game on, whether you watch it for 15 minutes or 5 minutes, he was making a play. So a huge loss for the Cardinals there.
Diller Moss trying to pick up this first down without him, and an errant throw. That one got away from him. I think he was looking for Colin Lacey.
And that's just a ball you got to complete. It's a little slant route, double slant route. It's to Lacey, who's the inside wide receiver, and that ball just sails on him. There's been too many of those kind of plays out of Miller Moss this year.
And it's allowed Toledo the time to get their footing
right
in this game. On that first drive, you know, you and I are looking at each other, is Louisville, but they have been out of sorts since. It's allowed Toledo to overcome a fumble and some miscues of their own. And now an opportunity to take the lead on this drive, trailing 7-3. A Christmas Day tradition unlike any other. 5 NBA games coming your way. It tips off with Cap.
You got to respect the running ability of Caleb Osborne.
Kenji Christian blown up in the backfield. Totally swallowed up by a swarm of red uniforms. TJ Quinn got there first. It's a loss of 2.
Man, I had a lot of fun watching TJ Quinn this week. His 2nd TFL of the game.
Osborne throws, it's caught. Toledo first down. The freshman Ryder Treadway, great route there. A gain of 20 to move the chains.
And then another best friend of a young quarterback. How about a tall wide receiver with some range and long arms? Ryder Treadway goes about 6'3" and reached up in the air and snatched that thing. Young freshman.
Treadway's 13th reception of this season. Osborne flips it. Christian spins out of a tackle. He's got another Toledo first down. So crafty. Kenji Christian looked dead for a loss of 3, and instead he turns it in to a gain of 15.
And Jay, it's the same thing. Toledo right now doing what not a lot of offenses could do much this season. That's break a lot of
And now Chip Trainum into the backfield, the powerful running back who's got Power 4 experience at Ohio State, Kentucky, Arizona State, but has found a home at Toledo, closing in on 1,000 yards rushing this season. Osborne fakes it to Trainum, keeps it himself, a stiff arm, falling forward past the 50 for another Toledo first down.
And that's what you love out of a running quarterback. That play looks like it's dead to rights, but Osborne, who's athletic, and he just makes Corey Gordon miss. A little stiff arm, and again, a play that looked like it was going to be a tackle for loss ends up in about a 3-4 yard gain and a first down. And remember, Jay, this is not just a new quarterback, but a new play caller for Toledo's offense. Right now, they look in sync.
They have grown in confidence as this game goes on. It looked disjointed early. Louisville, that opening touchdown to take control of this game, had an opportunity to make it 10-0, but a blocked field goal shifted that momentum to Toledo, and the team out of the MAC showing they belong here in Boca, putting together another good drive.
Second down, 13, 48.
Drive that started on their own 6-yard line, now near midfield. Flags come in pre-snap.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's about the third time today, Jay. There's been an illegal formation, a false start on an offense that's, again, with so much non-continuity going on, and they're doing pretty good, but then you set yourself back with a penalty.
Can that happen with a new quarterback? You've had Tucker Gleason's count all season, and now it's Caleb Osborne.
100%. A different cadence that those linemen especially are hearing can certainly make a difference.
Osborne rolling right, throws back left, and can't find Trainum. The screen was set up for Trainum pretty well, but couldn't connect.
Yeah, he had a lead blocker out in front of him. And if I'm Louisville's defense, you're looking at Caleb Osborne. He's got a great arm, got the legs, but how well does he read coverages, right? That's
Louisville desperate to get off the field. Osborne throws. It's caught, and that'll set up a 4th and manageable. Jacob Peterson hauls it in, and a flag comes in right at the line of scrimmage late. As it stands, a gain of 13.
An eligible downfield player, offense number 9, was covered up and went downfield for a pass. 5-yard penalty, third down.
So it would have been 4th and 5, and in a position where Toledo might leave their offense on the field and go for it. Instead, a replay of third down, and even further to go, 23 yards away. Toledo penalty of this game. They run it, needing 23. And Trainum gets back to the 50, got about half of it back. TJ Quinn again on the stop. Toledo, like Toledo, Jerry, and a lot of these you were telling us during the break are fundamental. And that's a live ball and a fumble. Toledo has it. Maybe we'll get Jerry McGinn's thoughts on this, because this is a huge takeaway. Hudson Miller there to scoop it up. That pass clearly behind the line of scrimmage, looking for Antonio Meeks to set up a trick play, and instead it's a takeaway for Toledo.
And once that ball was thrown a little bit low, but Colin Lacey not the urgency to pick that thing up. Once that ball is low and on the ground, you got to dive on that thing. And it was actually Toledo. It was a poor throw to begin with, but then once that ball's on the ground, you got to jump on that thing. And Miller comes up with it.
Sure. So, Jerry, that was straightforward.
Backward pass, so that was a good pickup by the officials. There's a lot of fouls that are happening right now, or just basic fundamentals that you wouldn't see in midseason form. You're seeing from two teams that haven't played in a while, and also from the officials who haven't been on the field also. Some of them are a little bit too tight to call. For example, that ineligible receiver downfield. Normally we would have liked to have seen that receiver, number 9, in the backfield. And we're looking for a blade of grass in a situation like that. Right now he has a great position, but we don't want to be too technical in those fouls.
So in other words, Jerry, just everyone's got a little rust on them right now. Not there. You got an interim coach and Robert Weiner. Some other coaches have left, so you're a little short-staffed. And there's usually guys that are in charge of, determine if two guys have the same number. They're not out there right now.
Exactly. That's normally a staff member that his only job for the day is the multiple numbers and switching up the jerseys, letting the officials know. So that individual may be already.
Fourth down.
Louisville was in punt return formation. Lacey deep. He goes off the field. They're going to run a play here.
It's a big gamble here on 4th and 6 from their own 46-yard line.
Now, he may pooch this thing, Jay.
That's what he does. Osborne gets a Toledo roll. And the third-string quarterback pins the Cardinals. 4th down pays off. 1st and 10. Handoff. Keon Brown spun down again. This Toledo defense starting to look like they did in the month of November when they didn't allow more than 10 points.
Yeah, and this defense, even without Vince Karras here, they're great defensive coordinator. These guys have played a lot of football together, especially on the back end, a ton of experience. And as we talked about it, there's Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, one of the better safeties in all of college football, and they're putting on a show right now.
They have grown into this game after that first Louisville drive where they went 8 plays, 75 yards for a touchdown. The Toledo defense has come alive. Moss, another overthrow, and Miller Moss way out of sorts since that opening drive. Sets up a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and a guy that, during the course of the year, his accuracy is what's stood out. But, there you mentioned that opening drive. First drive, 8 plays, 75 yards, touchdown, and looked like unstoppable. And right now, I just think it's Miller Moss.
0 for 4 on 3rd down today and make it 0 for 5. Another errant throw, looking for the tight end Skinner.
Yeah, and it looked like a screen they were setting up, but that thing didn't develop at all. A screen there, it's such a timing play. You got to let the rush get upfield and then the lineman get out in front. And
here, bounces outside, gets back to Louisville territory. And this will be excellent starting field position for the Rockets attempting to go in front.
And not have the penalties, might have a chance to score before half.
Well, Toledo's dominant defense has allowed the offense to grow into this game. And now best starting field position of the afternoon from the Louisville 49.
I give Osborne an easy throw here or a run, something to get this drive started off on the right foot. You don't want to go into this thing in 2nd and 10 or more.
Well, the Louisville defense desperate to protect this 4-point lead. A little more than 3 minutes remaining in this first half. Osborne in trouble, escapes the sack. A stiff arm sends him out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. JoJo Evans was in hot pursuit.
Yeah, a lot of red jerseys up on that line of scrimmage. They want to make Osborne feel uncomfortable. Don't allow him the time to sit back there and read it. He doesn't have a ton of experience at that as a college football player anyway. Don't let him breathe back there. But here we go. A negative play on 1st down, not the way to start the drive.
Officials timeout for sideline equipment change.
The one thing Louisville has done defensively in this first half is send a lot of pressure at a quarterback making his first college start.
The thing that's dangerous about sending pressure, though, is Osborne can run. And sometimes if you're not disciplined in your rush lanes, that guy can just take off. I always feel that showing them different pictures on the back end, changing open middle of the field, closed middle of the field, changing that picture up is a way to confuse a quarterback that doesn't have a lot of experience.
2nd down, 12 from the Rockets, 49-yard line.
Play clock down to 7. The first half dominated by defense so far. Toledo looking for a spark, throwing on 2nd and 12, way out in front of Trayvon Rudolph.
Yeah, I just don't love that play. Rolling the quarterback away from his throwing arm, all the way a throw across the field on a flat route. That's tough. That's a tough throw.
Toledo picked up their first 2 third downs of this game, but they have missed their last 3.
Louisville, previous third downs, have chosen to bring some pressure on Osborne. See what they do here. There's Clev Lubin moving from one, now back to the other side.
Lubin got a late rush there. Still trying to get home. Osborne in a chase. Just decides to tuck and run. Might have gained 3 or 4, but this will bring up 4th down. It brings us to the 2-minute timeout. Louisville clinging to a 7-3 lead. The defenses continue to dominate here in Boca. At the 15-yard line, they're looking to talk college football playoff coming up at halftime. Well, Louisville went 2-0 against college football playoff teams. They beat Miami and James Madison. You know, that win against Miami the last time they were here in South Florida. Hurricanes were number 2 in the country at the time. That put Louisville in the college football playoff conversation, but a 3-game losing streak in November took them out of that race. And a big reason why they lost those games, the lack of consistency offensively, and that has shown up in this first half with quarterback Miller Moss.
No, it certainly has. On the first drive, Miller Moss 3 for 3, 38 yards and a touchdown. Since he's 4 for 9, taking 2 sacks. He needs to put together a nice drive here.
Moss checks it down. Isaac Brown scoots out of bounds.
Yeah, I always love on a 2-minute drill, just give me a nice, easy completion to start the drive off on the right foot. That was a nice decision by Moss. Get a little confidence, get a little momentum here. Open. It's just when they're open, can you hit them?
Moss tip ball, and it falls incomplete. Sits up 3rd and 3. Now you have those 3 timeouts, like you said, Rocky, but you got to keep picking up first downs to use them. So have to convert here, and Louisville is 0 for 5 today on 3rd down. They have been killed on this down so far in the first half.
And I don't see Colin Lacey on the field. He got a little bit nicked up on that punt return. That's the go-to wide receiver, not in right now on this critical 3rd down.
Moss in trouble. Rolls left. Throws on the run. It's caught, but was he in bounds? No. Isaac Brown did not get a foot down, and his momentum carried him out of bounds. So it's ruled an incomplete pass. There is a flag down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 8. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And the Toledo penalties continue to crush them in this first half. Couldn't quite scoop. Moss checks it down once again. Isaac Brown takes a big hit. It steps out of bounds. Lost a yard there. The clock does stop because Brown's foot went out of bounds with 1 minute and 8 seconds and 3 timeouts to work with.
Trying to make a move and get upfield there. The great safety on the field right now for Toledo. Backfield save for Miller Moss.
3rd and 6, Moss in trouble. Escapes the sack, throws. It's caught, but short of the line to gain. There's another flag down in the secondary.
That flag came out on the snap.
We've talked throughout this first half how the penalties have been crippling against Toledo.
Illegal substitution. 12 men on defense.
I mean, just absolute killers. The earlier Martez Pointer with the illegal hands of face on the quarterback, and now you got 12 men on the field. We've seen offsides. We've seen double numbers. I mean, what haven't we seen? Just self-inflicted mistakes by Louisville. And
takes their first charge timeout of the half. It's a 30-second timeout.
The Cardinals head coach takes a timeout. Still got 2 remaining here.
Please reset the game clock.
52 seconds remain as well.
5-5, please.
Louisville
back in the game right there. That's a big shot in the arm for Toledo's defense.
Third and 1. Isaac Brown trying to pick it up. He's stuffed. Not going to get there.
Isaac Brown, ball carrier.
And more flags come in. There's a helmet off. Tavion Sherman picks up the helmet, puts it back on his head. Can't squeak free. This will be Toledo ball just shy of the 30-yard line with 2 timeouts and 35 seconds to work with.
I can't see Toledo being too aggressive here. 35 seconds and ball on the 30-yard line. They do have the 2 timeouts. See if they give Osborne a chance here.
First down and
Always the question, how conservative do you want to be heading into halftime? Maybe if you get something here on first down, you
get a big chunk yardage play, you might consider it.
They swing it out to Trainum. Barrels forward and shoved out of bounds.
Toledo does get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. So my thought process might be, look, let's not, in a half where we've had a lot of self-inflicted mistakes, let's not get some more here and mess this up here.
Osborne trying to throw and just has to eat the ball and go down. A sea of red uniforms for a loss of 6 and a sack.
And Clev Lubin, he's up there on the inside. I mean, just absolutely walking the tackle, Cole Rett, back into the lap of the quarterback.
Louisville takes their second charge out of the half. It's a 30-second timeout.
And Jeff Brom does decide to use his second timeout to stop the clock at 22 seconds. So if they get the stop on 3rd down, it'll force Toledo to punt the ball away. And remember, Louisville had a punt block this season. Keep it on the ground, defended well. Jeff Brom uses that final timeout. Stop the clock on first down. You have those 2 timeouts to stop the clock after 2nd down and 3rd down, and to force Ruggles to try and punt this away.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much a matter of thinking, okay, they can get the ball back and put together a drive. It's like, hey, we're going to force them to punt here and maybe block another one.
Ruggles gets it away cleanly, a line drive punt. Fielded by Lacey. You're watching Capital One, more than 9 points in a game, and that has showed up against this ACC offense. Lacey, couple of broken tackles, gets into Toledo territory and out of bounds. A gain of 17. Didn't seem like there was much there for Lacey. He just wiggled his way through. So now,
just 3 seconds left.
A Hail Mary opportunity, though, if you're Miller Moss of the Louisville offense. Starts this 3rd quarter with a 7-3 lead. Toledo will start with the football. Dangerous return man, Trayvon Rudolph. Very festive last name, and Rudolph will bobble it and return it from his own 2-yard line. Doesn't even get to the 10-yard line.
Trayvon Rudolph.
You hope Rudolph the reindeer fares better guiding Santa's sleigh than Trayvon Rudolph did just there to start this 3rd quarter. Let's head down and check in with Ashley Strohline on the sideline.
Thanks, Jay. Well, I had a chance to speak to both head coaches starting with the game. Now we have had a chance to do that. We feel tougher than the Cardinals right now. We feel good about where we are, and honestly, we've cost ourselves some points. Smiled at me and said, we've got 30 minutes of great football for you coming up.
And as we talked about, Ashley, Toledo got to quit shooting themselves in the foot. You know, the offsides, you know, too many men on the field, double numbers. It's been the whole gamut for them.
A season high 8 penalties in that first half. Their defense, the Rockets have kept them within striking distance. Now can they ignite the offense? Osborne dangerous with his feet, picks up the first down. And maybe that'll be a shot in the arm for this Rockets offense.
And I think Toledo's got to do more of that. Just, I mean, for Osborne, it's got to be first read, and it's not there. I'm tucking that thing and going. And it's up to Louisville defensively to cut down some of those rush lanes with such a dynamic runner like Osborne.
And maybe you try and get Chip Trainum going. Only 36 rushing yards on 9 carries so far. He gets the handoff here. Trainum always runs so powerfully, falling forward after contact, gain of 6 there.
And first team All-MAC running back, 4 games where he's crossed the 100-yard mark. Nice positive play on first down.
Osborne trying to get it into one-on-one coverage, and it was batted down at the line of scrimmage. TJ Quinn got a paw on it, sets up 3rd and 5. Yards to keep the drive alive. Osborne keeps it himself, has the first down, barreling forward. Might be the best run of the day for the young quarterback making his first college start, Caleb Osborne.
Again, I mean, football's a game of momentum, and this is great. You 3rd and 5, you nice tough run, take a little hit, but get the first down, something to build on.
Right back to Trainum. Hits the hole hard. And Toledo establishing the run on this first drive of the second half. Gain of 8.
And been a good job here to start this half with the run, but I think a guy you got to get involved for Toledo is Junior Vandeross, wide receiver. Their top guy. He's caught a pass in 39 straight games. That's him right there.
Play action. Osborne pulls it. Trying to turn that corner, falling forward.
Caleb Osborne.
Just as he was getting bounced out of bounds, he stretched that ball out for the first down, and the Rockets move the chains again on this opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
And I like what Osborne has done so far in this game, Jay. He's not trying to force things, right? He's not yet thrown a ball into a bad coverage or anything. Just take what the D gives you.
Spins out of a tackle, still on his feet, Osborne. Caleb Osborne taking over at the start of this 3rd quarter, gain of 12.
And he's saying, my bad, but he made it right. You know, I think it looked like it was supposed to be a pass, but I mean, what an incredible move with the spin on TJ Quinn, one of the better linebackers in all the ACC.
Into Louisville territory. Would have been a tackle for loss, but the spin cycle for Osborne. Another first down for Toledo. Osborne gonna run it again. Another spin and a broken tackle. Osborne inside the 20, and Caleb Osborne is starting to feel it here in Boca.
And I'm confused. It looks like TJ Capers, the middle linebacker, didn't.
Some confidence, a couple of spin moves that have paid off.
Wow.
And that is the oddest play in the college football season. A ricochet that ends up falling to the right tackle, Cole Rett. You could watch football your whole life and never see a play like this. Ends up being a loss of 3.
And usually, like, it's a ricochet, it pops up in the air. That was like a shot.
Ends up traveling 12 yards backwards.
Let's watch this again. Popped up in the air, up there. Was it off his shoe?
Might have been his knee
or something.
It's a loss of 3. Pitch right, Trainum. Wow. Well defended. And after Toledo done so well moving the ball on this opening drive of the second half, it's beginning to stall out here with a 3rd and long upcoming. This will be the 12th play of the Toledo drive. Louisville looking for a stop on 3rd and 8 to hold the Rockets to a field goal attempt.
And if I'm Toledo, I'm knowing where that guy is right there. That's Clev Lubin, their best pass rusher. You gotta block him.
Ears pinned back on a 3rd and 8. Osborne, he's been a magician on this drive. Throws over the middle. It's caught at the 1-yard line. There's a flag down. Hammer did hold on. He did not break the plane.
Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And this is coming back. Cole Rett called for a costly hold.
Yeah, but you held it long enough.
It was, and it was Clev Lubin, the guy we pointed out on the rush. And Lubin comes with an inside move. And you'll see 74 Rett just reach out and grab right there, the cloth with the left hand, pulling him back. And you know, Levin's calling for it right there, but an unfortunate penalty on what would have been a touchdown.
The penalties continue to kill Toledo. They're 9th of this game. Instead of 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, it's 3rd and 19. Osborne floats it to train him, and he is drilled and dropped. Great open field tackle by Rodney Johnson. And Toledo will have to settle for a 15 miles from the FAU Stadium. He made his first attempt. This one, he missed it. Had the leg, but not the accuracy, and Louisville survives. And the Cardinals still clinging to that 4-point lead.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
What's for dinner?
Let's go.
In the opening drives, Louisville's been great, and that's where Brom has a first 10 planned, and after that, it's not been quite as good.
Miller Moss, good, accurate throw to the tight end. Skinner, gain of 5, positive yardage on 1st down, and they go with the passing game because since the first play from scrimmage, which was a 31-yard rush by Keon Brown, they have gone 15 carries for 4 total yards. So the ground game has totally dried up for Louisville.
At some point, do you give Braxton Jennings, the young freshman who had a big game against Louisville, a shot at running back?
113 yards, yeah, that rivalry game against Kentucky, which they won 41-0. They go to Keon Brown, and he swallowed up for a loss of 1. Great point, Rocky. I mean, might want to call on the freshman walk-on Jennings here.
Eshawn Carter just playing down the line of scrimmage, fighting off a block, making a tackle. That's a heck of a play. And 5th-year seniors, guys across the board, are getting handled up front right now.
Louisville 0 for 6 on 3rd down this afternoon. Can they convert here? Moss hit as he released it. Right on the money. Colin Lacey, 1st down Louisville into Toledo territory on a gain of 28.
And they got what they wanted here. Toledo decides to bring some pressure. Okay. Actually, they brought just 4 there, but they caught with no deep safety in the middle of the field. Perfectly called play there to take advantage, bring your wide receiver and Lacey over the middle. No guy sitting back there. Comes up with a desperately needed big play for Louisville.
We just showed you the drive summary. Since that opening drive, that has been the most positive play for a Cardinals offense that desperately needed it. High snap, Moss still manages to get into the belly of Brown. He churned his legs for hard yards, a gain of 8.
That could have been disastrous right there. Just feel like it's been that kind of game. You know, you have a great play, get the 1st down, best pass play of the game, and almost a fumbled snap, but Keon Brown, nice job corralling that thing and picked up 7.
Play action, Moss, little out in front, but a great catch made in a 1st-3 lead here in the Boca Bowl. You know, a lot of people here in South Florida fired up for the Miami Hurricanes, beating Texas A&M at Kyle Field and now facing the Buckeyes. Well, Louisville, they beat Miami in the regular season 2-0 against college football playoff teams. They're trying to finish strong here as we step aside. Cardinals up 14-3.
Good food
And everyone still very much locked into those sketches. So what does it mean to have that kind of impact on this game?
It's the greatest, one of the greatest surprises of my career. I'm really honored that this resonates with people the way that it does. Jordan and I had no idea this was what was going to happen. We just happen to be fans. I'm a huge football fan. I love the sport. I love the culture of the sport. We kind of made those sketches because we were fans. That was our way of expressing ourselves and our
further dominate.
Isaac Brown doing just that, running behind a line, getting a great push in this third quarter, gain of 8.
And we talked about it last drive. That's why you hang in there with the run game. And a lot of folks, you're not running the ball well. Let's get away from it. Let's start throwing the ball 70 times a game. You know, the run game takes a long time to develop, and it's a game of its physicality, it's stamina, and that's why Louisville and Jeff Brom continue to lean on it. It's coming up big for them now.
Right back to Isaac Brown, the Miami native who probably had his best game in a Louisville uniform against the Hurricanes in that upset win when they knocked off number 2 Miami, 113 yards rushing that day. After that win, a lot of Louisville fans started dreaming ACC championship, college football playoff. Those 3 losses in November right in a row took them out of college football playoff contention, but trying to finish. So a fresh set of downs to start the fourth quarter. Right back to Isaac Brown, and he bounces into the end zone. Touchdown, Louisville. Playing in his first game since November 1st. In an era of everybody opting out of bowl games, Isaac Brown rehabbed and opted in. And now he's into the end zone.
Great vision. Look, that play starts off to his left, and then he sees the daylight to the right, picks up a couple great blocks by his wide receivers on the outside. Here's a great look at it. Bend that thing all the way back. You see Trayshawn Hurry downfield blocking, Colin Lacey blocking. That's how you do it. Again, just staying with that run game, and it's paid off.
Brown responsible for keeping that drive alive like we just showed you by pushing Miller Moss for the first down. They give it to him. First play of the fourth quarter, takes it into the end zone. And Rocky, we were really impressed when we heard Isaac. Terrell Crosby Jr. leaves that for a touchback. Let's take a
Toledo has not shown the ability today to consistently drive the length of the field and put up points. And here we go again.
The penalties,
unbelievable,
have crushed Toledo today in critical moments.
Ball start. Offense number 5. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Terrell Crosby and Jay. Football is hard enough, right? It's a hard enough game when you're not just shooting yourself in the foot, as Toledo has done multiple times this game. It's unfortunate. And I think a lot of that, as we've said, goes back to just, you know, new interim head coach, lots of coaches leaving. Jason Candle's no longer part of the team. It's tough to manage.
That penalty, the 11th against Toledo, which is a Boca Bowl record and one you don't. Chip Trainum breaks a tackle. Some running room for Trainum, who lowers his shoulder, powers his way past the 45-yard line. Gain of 13.
Nice job by Trainum. That was a tackle for loss. He shakes it off, as he's done a lot of times today. And then watch toward the end here, after he shakes off the tackle, he picks up a great block by Junior Vanderos right there. Boom. Oh, and taking out Rodney Johnson. And I don't even get a few more yards.
So a 3rd and 2 after the gain of 13. Flea flicker. How about some trickery in Boca? Osborne tucks and runs for the first down into Louisville territory. Smart play by the redshirt freshman quarterback.
You said it, because, again, inexperienced, younger.
Great point. This is not Toledo, Ohio, or Louisville, Kentucky weather here. Osborne picks out the tight end Peterson, and he rumbles all his might to the 26-yard line. Gain of 13. This is the best drive of the afternoon for Toledo. It's come with their backs against the wall here, trailing 21-3.
First down and 10 from the 25.
Pitch left, Christian upended immediately. Read beautifully by Rodney Johnson to make the tackle for loss.
That's a great job. Yeah, we call a lot of games together. What do I love? A corner that is not afraid to come up and tackle. I mean, he just shot out of a cannon, comes up, trips
today. Right around where they're entering the red zone is where they have been tripped up. And another drive in jeopardy of stalling out here. They've had to settle for 2 field goal attempts. One they made, one they missed, both from 40+. And now with 3rd and 11.
Yeah, and I think, you know, right now your mindset is we got to pick up 5 or 6 here and give ourselves a chance to go for it. Because I think that's absolutely what you have to do in this situation, but you got to pick up 5 or 6 here at least.
And a field goal doesn't help you all that much.
It's too late.
Osborne throws, it's high, and it sails on him. Javon Brown trailing by 18. Osborne throws, it's caught. Peterson trying to muscle his way, breaks the plane, touchdown, Toledo! On 4th and 11, Osborne, the best throw of the afternoon to the big tight end Peterson.
And you can see why Toledo fans are so fired up about Caleb Osborne. This is an absolute shot right down the seam. And then the drive through, Kenji Christensen come from all the way in the backfield to give a little push to Peterson and force him into the end zone. But what a great throw by Osborne.
On 4th down, no less. And if that falls incomplete, really the game's over. And now you're right back in it, going for 2 here.
Try to make it a 10-point game.
Why not? You just completed a 4th and 11 throw for a touchdown.
There's Vander Ross right there.
Osborne looking that way. Throws, it got deflected. Now a flag comes in. Blake Ruffin not happy about that call.
On it. Defense number 21. Half the distance to the goal. Retry.
So Toledo gets another try to pick up this 2-point conversion.
And I don't know. That's a little ticky-tacky there. Did have his left arm around his jersey a little bit. Didn't see him force and pull him around though.
Wildcat pays off, untouched, into the end zone. Jay Alter with you at the Bushes Boca Raton Bowl in beautiful South Florida. So Louisville, they looked like they were going to take this one up 21-3, and then it was time for a clutch delivery brought to you by Chipotle.
Yeah, it's been this Louisville run game in the second half. First half, 16 rushes for just 35 yards, but in the second half, they really got it going. 10 rushes for 56, including the last touchdown there by Isaac Brown. And I think that's got to be the mindset right now if you're Louisville, is just run the ball, get first downs, chew that clock up.
Big improvement on the ground in the second half, and they stick with the run game. And Toledo defends it well. Martez Pointer, that's a loss of 1.
Martez Pointer's had a heck of a game. He did have a penalty earlier, but he has been multiple times in the backfield for Louisville, and that's a way to start a drive off here with a negative yards play, forcing 2nd and 11.
Toledo looked out of this game down 21-3 in the 4th quarter. They convert a 4th and 11 for a touchdown. Then they get the 2-point attempt to make it a 10-point game. And maybe that gives some juice to this Rockets defense with them being right back in it. Miller Moss throwing on 2nd down. They rule that incomplete. Manuel McNeil-Warren coming up.
And this is why he's going to be a high draft pick. This is an OTB route right over the ball, and looks like he's just going to catch that easy, but number 7 shot out of a cannon, just breaks that ball up right over the center.
For Toledo, great opportunity to get off the field here on a 3rd and 11 and put more pressure on Louisville. Cardinals just 1 of 8 on 3rd down today. Can they convert here? They need 11 yards to do it. Moss setting up the screen. Keon Brown totally swallowed up, and the Toledo defense delivers.
And it was a great job because
movement pre-snap. Osborne lined up bottom of the screen. Trainham trying to run out of trouble. Just powers forward for a gain and dropped. The screen game to Kenji Christian, who's bounced out of bounds. Got 6 yards back, but it'll still be 3rd and long.
Again, I mean, as we just talked about, 3rd and long, this is where Louisville would like to pin their ears back, but they'll have to do it without Clev Lubin in the game. Let's see, there's Mike Carter, who had the sack a couple plays ago.
Osborne gets rid of it quickly, but throws it behind Junior Vander Ross, and that'll bring up 4th down. And what do you do here? Trailing by 10, you're in no man's land to a degree.
It looks like they're going to go ahead and kick, and it's going to be Robert Hammond, who, again, this is his first game. He's kicked in. He made one, missed one.
Missed from 41, made from 42. This is going to be from 50.
No real wind blowing right now, Jay.
Had not kicked a field goal in a college game until today. Hammond from 50, and he absolutely drills it. That is a Boca Raton Bowl record for Robert Hammond, who went to high school 17 miles from FAU Stadium here in South Florida, and he's made it a 7-point game with a 50-yard blast. Toledo right back in it.
The Apple A19 Pro chip is vapor-cooled, because when you run cool, you can push your limits and juggle over 35 trillion complex tasks a second. Imagine if we were that powerful.
Record 50-yard field goal from Robert Hammond, and just like that, only 7 points separate Louisville and Toledo. Fun finish coming here in South Florida as we check into the studio with Matt Berry.
Okay, gentlemen, what's better than 1 bowl game? 2. Matthew Henry, Western Kentucky, getting set to take on Southern Miss coming up when this game goes final. What's better than 2 bowl games, gentlemen? 3. Trick question.
3.
Fantastic. Yeah, the Frisco Bowl still coming later tonight as our triple header continues. Capital One Bowl Mania. And we are getting some mania here at the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl. Louisville was up 21-3 less than 5 minutes ago. Toledo right back in it. Cardinals go to the ground game with Colin Lacey, who picks up the first down, gain of 11.
Great play on first down. Look, big moments of the game, and you got to shut
this game. The Miami native playing not far from home, trying to put this game on ice with a little more than 5 minutes remaining. Right back to Brown. Why not? Running hard, steps on the gas. Isaac Brown is gone. Touchdown, Louisville. 53-yard touchdown, Isaac Brown, to put this game away.
The other team's starting to come back. They feel like they have life. You shut it down. Look at this.
Blocked field goal, and Toledo can return this for 2 points. It's a foot race. Avery Smith, he's going to get there. And Toledo saying, we're not done yet. Special teams has showed up in a big way for Toledo. Their second blocked kick of the day. It turns to go and 3 timeouts.
And
Crosby's going to run it out of his own end zone. Makes a few men miss. Gets past the 30. And don't forget to check out the ESPN. Going out of bounds into Louisville territory. Vandeross, who's described as a top 10 play waiting to happen, gains 19, some pushing and shoving. And Toledo still believing they're right in this thing.
They absolutely are, and this is a time to remind everybody that on the last series, Cleve Lubin, Louisville's best pass rusher and overall best defensive player, goes out of the game with a
right on the money to Peterson. Ball comes out. Peterson caught that ball, made a football move, and they say he was down. The officials on the field have ruled the Jacobs game, and now a chance to cut into the Louisville lead. 1st and 10, inside the 30. Osborne, quarterback run, gets past the 25. You can afford to keep the ball on the ground because you have those 3 timeouts.
Yeah,
still more than 3 minutes remaining.
You know, and wasting away some clock might not be the worst thing, but they still have 2 scores they got to get.
What a catch! Junior Vandeross. Great grab. Another Toledo first down.
Same thing. Big moments of the game. Go to your big-time players. Junior Vandeross, that guy, first-team All-MAC for best receivers. His 7th catch of the day.
Osborne takes off inside the 10, breaks a tackle, stumbles to the 5. Caleb Osborne playing with a lot of confidence right now. You would never know he's making his first college start today.
And he's taking a lot of shots. You can see he's a little weary going back to that huddle, but
hands it off. Trainum bulldozing. Touchdown Toledo. Chip Trainum. Toledo refusing to go away. What a 4th quarter performance.
And what a heck of a drive. You get the pass to Junior Vandeross. You get the long seam route, couple quarterback runs, and then Chip Trainum, who has been a difference maker for this Toledo offense. And Toledo going to go for 2 again.
To make it a 3-point game. Vandeross in motion. Osborne looking that way. Hit as he threw it, and it falls incomplete. And Louisville remains up by 5 with 2:24 remaining. What a 4th quarter this has been. We only had 14 points of offense through 3 quarters for Louisville. And since the offense has exploded in this 4th quarter, Toledo 19, Louisville 13.
And that's the play right there that Toledo is just absolutely done for, but a 4th and 11 touchdown pass. But then here Louisville comes back and looks like they're going to just put the exclamation point on it. And Toledo driving the ball back down, had a blocked extra point for a 2-point conversion.
32 total points in this 4th quarter. 19 of them belong to Toledo. The Rockets trailed this game 21-3 with 11 minutes left of the 4th quarter. Well, less than 9 minutes later, it's 27-22. And Toledo, with all 3 timeouts, kicking this ball away with confidence that they can steal this thing in South Florida.
And that blocked extra point is massive right now. I mean, it should be 28-20 right now. And instead, it's a 5-point ball game.
Yeah, that 3-point swing is critical. Great point, Rocky. And what a fun finish. This 5-point lead, they keep it on the ground. Still running. Ball's out. And it goes out. Has the edge. And it's another first down for Keon Brown. Emmanuel McNeil Warren.